a teenage driver, you're going to recoil in horror when we tell you about this key. But this key is similar to having your mother in the car at all time. And what kid wouldn't want their mother in the car? Stop it. This is a Mercury hybrid. It's a new 2009 Mariner hybrid. Oh, let me show you some other people. Turn around here. Here's some other people from Ford who are here. Wave, everybody. There's Kelly. There's Rich. And over here is Andy Sarkeesian, and we have Tom Miller. And these are the guys who came up with the idea for MyKey from Ford Motor Company. And they are so sold on this new innovation. They have come out to stand in Dearborn, Michigan, on probably the coldest day there ever was, and the worst winter there ever was. This is the kind of winter that killed off the woolly mammoths many centuries ago.
I could use some of that fur right now.
Tell me about MyKey, Andy. This was your idea, is what I understand.
Well, we wanted to have some help for parents and for teens to feel comfortable about driving vehicles, feel safe, and so we came up with an idea that would put in every vehicle that...
every Ford vehicle? Standard by 2010?
On about half our vehicles in 2010 and the other half in 2011.
Three things. Keeps the radio down.
Keeps the volume of the radio down so you can hear other traffic. Greatly encourages seatbelt use, because that's the number one safety device in the vehicle, aside from a smart driver. And provides some measures to help monitor and control speed.
And where did this come from? There was a moment just before we hit the air or we hit the web. I asked you, I said, what was the moment? And you were going to tell me, and then they said, shut up, Mike. But tell me now.
Well, we've seen stories about people driving vehicles that where if they kept their speeds on down, if they'd been buckled on in, that it would be a happier outcome.
It was about 3 years ago you came up
So about 3 years ago, we had a cross-functional team, and we brainstormed on what we can do for family safety. And in that uncomfortable scenario where you now have children in the household, they're teens, they're getting their graduated driver's license, and oh my God, they're going to take the car and I'm not going to be with them. So how can you help mom and dad feel more comfortable about that? And how can you help our teens transition into that?
Is this a big brother thing?
No, it's a choice. It's a choice between a negotiation, if you will, between the children and their parents. It's sort of an extension of the parental controls on the internet and V-chip on TV, where it's, again, a negotiation between the kids and the parents.
And we'll show how this technology works here. We're going to get in the car and drive it a little bit and give you a sense of what happens if you don't have your seatbelt on and you're listening to the radio. But you gave this idea, this thought to Tom here, is that right?
Yeah, the engineers did great.
He came to you one day. Tell me, exactly what did he say? You guys never knew each other before.
No, not until this point. But Andy did come to our team and made us aware of the risky behaviors of teenage drivers, and said, hey, we want to give the parent a key to give their teenage driver to address these issues and to encourage teenagers to develop good driving habits and become more experienced drivers quicker.
You're part of the team that came up with Ford Sync with Microsoft.
That came out of Jim Boskowski's group, EESE, and now we have MyKey coming out of the same group.
Okay, and I guess I'm amazed that this isn't going to cost any extra money for someone who purchases a new Ford product, that it's standard equipment on all Ford vehicles.
That is one of the success stories of MyKey, is we did design it so that it does not require any hardware for the parent to purchase. It comes standard on the vehicle. It's the parent's choice to turn the system on or off, and it's one of the success stories of MyKey.
You know what? We are live and we're doing a webcast here, and you are more than, we are more than happy to answer your questions or take your comments about MyKey. And I think we have a question already. Is that right? Let's go back. And sitting in the back seat here is Maggie. Maggie, what, you've got a question already?
We do. Adrian would like to know, when grounding a child, can you make the key not work at all?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
Well, if you ground your child and say you cannot have the car, can you disable the key so it will not work?
Well, you can take the key away from him and the vehicle won't work.
The ultimate grounding.
That's a very good point. Very good
Okay.
point, Adrian.
Okay. What can you make the key do? For one thing, you keep the speed limit at 80 miles an hour. You know, if this were my mother, she wouldn't have it over 30.
That's the number one question for MyKey. Why
80
miles an hour, right? And we did have several weeks of discussion over that. In North America, the fastest legal speed limit is 80 miles an hour. We can't prevent a teenager from driving on an expressway that is 80 miles per hour.
And it has to do with places like Montana, where you have a speed limit that goes 80 miles an hour.
Right.
And if you're merging on, you got to be able to keep up.
Yeah, when you're merging or if you need to pass a slow-moving truck. So to complement that, because speed is one of the risky behaviors, so the 80 mile per hour speed limit is going to increase their awareness of their speed, but we also complement it with speed chimes. So the parent can set the vehicle to chime at either 45, 55, or 65 miles an hour. When the teenager would cross that threshold, a chime will activate and will display a message: check speed, drive safely, and it's about making them aware of their speed.
Let's get in the car here right now and give people just an example, just a touch of an idea of what this is like and how it works. So, Wes, you're going to get in there after Hallie gets in, and I'll get in over here. Tom is already at the driver's seat, and I am going to keep my seatbelt on. We'll both keep our seatbelt.
Both keep our seatbelt off, right?
Okay. Now, as we said, what happens is it's going to, let's turn on the radio here. Not that my kid would listen, or any kid would listen to this music, but we'll use that as an example.
I didn't pick the channel.
Okay. Okay. I got to tell you, when I was a kid, you know what I would do? Well, when I'd get my dad's car, I would get under there and I'd unhook some cable so that he couldn't tell the mileage, how far on the odometer, how far I drove. Did you ever do that? I think that was the first technical aspect of a car I ever looked.
Yeah, there's no more cables in the transmission.
You can't
so
do that.
It's all computers now.
Okay. So that's one down already. All right, okay. So there's this really cool music. Okay. Now let's drive. We're going to cruise to the drive-in, Tom. Let's go. All right.
So we didn't buckle. As soon as the vehicle speed reaches 6 miles an hour, we're going to say, hey, wait a minute. You forgot to wear your seatbelt, and we turn the radio off. Well, we don't turn it off. We mute it.
And no matter how hard I hit it, nothing.
Nope. There's only one way to turn it back on, and that's for you and I to put our seatbelt
And look
on.
at show the little bar graph there. What does it say?
Buckle up, Tommy. Audio.
On mood. Okay, so let's put the seatbelts on now. And our really cool music is back.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And there's one thing that teenagers never forget, and that's their music.
Now, with MyKey, the music can only go up to 44% of full volume, and that's all the time? Is that right?
Well, that's the
Kids are going to hate that.
The parents have the choice to turn that feature on or off. So if the parents turn that feature on when the MyKey's in the ignition, it's 44% of the total volume. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we can program this key, and we don't expect you to program to give us a tutorial on how to program the whole car, but just give us an idea of what can be done and how easy it is. Okay. First of all, you have one administration key, and you can have as many as 4 MyKeys. Is that right?
Right. Well, you can have for these particular style of keys, you can program up to 4 to the vehicle, and the parent can make 3 of those 4 MyKeys. We design the system such that you always have one admin key to turn the system off or turn some features on or off. So they can make 3 of the 4 MyKey.
And the keys are identical, so you're not embarrassing the key. You didn't like make a Little Mermaid key.
No, there's no scarlet letter here.